Is it?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Dallas.
What's up?
My brother Derek.
What's up?
And our friend Dan.
What's going on?
And this week, we're going to be talking about Pixar's Up, which, again, I'm convinced that somebody at Pixar has gone through something horrible. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Everybody has.
But
Everybody has.
You know,
the start of this movie,
watching this movie, I'm like, is this a
Man.
kids
it was so
But
sad.
probably your next word. But
movie? But
yeah, I guess. See, I know it.
I really feel like this movie was more for adults than kids. Like, I don't see how this is a kids movie.
That
That's how-
opening,
that's how I feel
It
about
was
a lot
so
of
sad
movies.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
It
I
was.
just feel like just the whole lesson of the movie was like, this is for all of you
That's-
30 overs.
it is. It was for older people.
Yeah.
Like, okay, learn to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn to
And
let go.
he got
also,
he got some closure.
yeah, some
Yeah.
closer, but also live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he had to learn that he did live.
Mm-hmm.
Like he felt
Right.
like he didn't live, but he had to learn that he actually did.
yeah, and exactly,
Yeah.
it's like, don't focus on the things you didn't do, but appreciate the things you did do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause no
Which
matter
is-
how successful your life is, there's some things that you didn't do.
Yeah.
There's some things that everybody didn't do.
Yeah, but like, don't let that hold you back.
Right.
Yeah, don't be like, don't let like the regret of I never got the chance to do this. Like, but
Mhm.
what in life did you did do that you probably would, enjoy more? Just appreciate what you had.
Mm-hmm. That applies with a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
what have you done?
Yeah.
What do you have? What can you look back on with, what I'm saying, with a good memory? Like, people don't focus on that.
Yeah.
What didn't I do? What don't I have? What can I
Yeah.
afford?
Yeah.
That's what they look at.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
For sure.
I like that message in the movie.
For sure. So I mean, I would think this opening. I wonder if this was originally a Pixar short because it kind of feels like it with the opening of this movie. No one's talking really.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you got it a little bit in the beginning.
With Ellie, right? That wasn't her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl and Ellie. Yeah.
Yeah, so he watches the movie of the Explorer and stuff, and obviously that affected him as a kid, so he's super excited about it. He meets Ellie in the abandoned house, and then it goes from there to just like going through their life,
Mm-hmm.
which in knowing that she dies, now because I think it's the second time I watched it in
Mhm.
full,
Mm.
and I'm like, so knowing that she dies, I'm just like, wow, that's sucks.
Well, you know what? It wasn't even just that she dies. It was like she had a miscarriage, and I'm like, Disney.
Yeah,
What in
yeah.
the world?
Yeah, 'cause they was
Yeah.
preparing
Like you
to
said,
have
somebody
a baby.
was going through something,
Yeah, I was like,
and they portrayed it in the movie.
which I was like,
'Cause-
oh, are we doing this? Like, that's
Yeah.
like that's messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah, we going there.
Yeah, I have to give it to Pixar for making mature movies. Like
Mhm.
they make children's movies, but they make mature movies.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah,
just
the
like
subject matter
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
be
it's not just like it's kids movie, so it's stupid. You
Mhm.
know, like I watched the Plankton movie with my kids the other day. Jesus,
on a podcast to come.
no,
Not at all.
no, it shan't.
I don't think that's so funny.
Sure
It
is.
shan't. That's a lot of
We
conjunctions.
shan't be doing that.
But Pixar, like they always keep it real. Like
Mhm.
obviously it's entertaining for kids and whatnot, but like that, like you said, that underlying story, the message behind it it's always super mature, and I appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
Inside Out 2, watching that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mention it all the time, which is the saddest movie ever. Good Dinosaur. I don't know who
Mhm.
wrote. There was no joy in that movie. I'm like, I don't know who wrote this. Who wrote it?
Somebody experiencing some
Check on them,
things.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, please
So
do.
I feel like this movie is kind of a movie that you enjoy differently depending on what stage of life you're in.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're an older person, you probably lost a spouse.
Mm.
So you're thinking like, the love of my life. We spent decades together. Now they're not there, and it's like, well, now what do I do? Which is something Carl had to learn. That just because Ellie wasn't there anymore, it's like you can still live. You can still enjoy life, and he had to learn that to let go of some of that baggage. And then there's also like lessons for, those who are in the middle age. It's just like, him and Ellie had a good life together, and to focus more on the good things you had in your life instead of focusing on the things that you didn't have in life. And then if you're a kid, you enjoyed the silly stuff that was in this movie.
Yeah.
But it was just, I was just like, this movie is deep. And I was just thinking like,
It was.
I don't think this movie was for kids.
It was. I don't think it was for kids either. But like, I feel like it was for kids because it was animated, and that's the only thing.
Yeah.
That made it for kids. Like
Well,
everything
like
else
a kid
was.
is not going to pick up on all the.
I don't think they pick up
Small
on
stuff.
any of these
No,
lessons
I
because
don't
the
think they picked
lessons
up
were
on any
for
of that.
adults.
Yeah, the lessons were definitely for adults. Cause like they're not gonna know about that experience, like
No.
adulthood and
Yeah.
growing old with somebody you love or whatnot. They're not gonna understand.
Yeah, they just looking at it as an old man being grumpy and being mean.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I know old people that are grumpy. That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah, like I
I know
feel
old
like
people that are grumpy.
that montage goes straight over their head.
Yeah.
Oh
Easily.
yeah.
Yeah, that one,
Easily.
and then the one at the end when he finally looks at the adventure book.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not gonna get the meaning behind that either. Like that's for
Yeah,
us.
it's like, man, I did all this. Like I
Yeah.
did, you know what I'm saying? All these
Yeah.
adventures and stuff that I had.
Yeah, like
Where-
her adventures was her life with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, like
And they
Kids
were,
not gonna do that.
she was older when she
yeah,
passed away. They
Yeah.
went through all of that before, she
Yeah.
got diagnosed, and then obviously she started to fade away. But like they were older when
yeah. So
when they did all that.
they had decades together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had some time together.
Yeah,
I
Like,
mean, since they were kids, right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
basically, right? I mean, they were pretty much best friends since they were 8 years old.
Mhm.
I was like, Ellie was intense though, bro.
She's intense.
She's like, cross your heart, cross it. Good, you promised. And I'm like, I don't know if that counts. I don't
for her,
I
it
don't-
counted, man. So that's all
I
that
will
matters.
say, as someone who's introverted but has a very extroverted friend,
Mhm.
you do appreciate that outgoing person. Like sometimes it's too much. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it is also kind of nice to have someone who will do something that you wouldn't normally do.
Mhm.
So like she's intense. She's like, you don't talk much. I like you. And
Because she does all the talking.
she
Yeah.
does all the talking for both of them, which is okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I think I'm introverted, but like I'm extroverted around certain people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think like most people are like that. You're an
Mhm.
introvert, but you're extroverted around certain people.
Yeah.
Or in certain environments.
I was listening to this thing and they had to break this down. It's like introverted does not mean shy, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Shy means
Or
you gotta-
antisocial.
Yeah,
Mhm.
shy means you may have a difficult time being around or speaking with people. Introverted means I prefer
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
to not speak to people.
Right.
Right. And then, so there's a big difference which and like you said, yeah, sometimes that relationship when you got that introverted person and that outgoing person, it could be good for both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It balances out, I think.
It's a good
Yeah.
balance.
I think
Yeah.
it balances out.
Yeah.
But like I said, as far as being like introverted, I feel like around in certain crowds, I'm like, I ain't gonna talk to none of y'all because I just don't feel like I hear what y'all saying. I don't vibe with it. I'm not gonna be able to add anything to
Mhm.
this. I'm probably gonna just take something away
Yeah.
from it. So I'm just gonna sit quiet at y'all vibe. But like with the right crowd, I'm wilding out.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes you probably be worried about what I'm gonna say next, depending on who I'm around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. We have
Yeah.
someone to agree.
I am mostly. I'm just gonna sit in the corner and not talk. That is my vibe.
Dallas
Mhm.
talks.
Yeah, we've seen that.
That
We've
that
seen
is
it.
that is
Yeah.
my
Dallas
vibe.
talks,
I talk to
but
Dallas
you
all
can
the time.
tell when Dallas gets excited about something.
Yeah.
Dallas is not quiet.
Yeah.
Dallas is no longer the quiet introverted type.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't get her to stop talk.
That is not true.
Excuse me. Sometimes you can't get her to stop talk,
There is never a point.
depending on the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like that with everybody, no matter how introverted you are. If you
Yeah,
get into
everybody has
something,
something that they get excited about.
if you get into something to where somebody's like really interested in, they're gonna start talking.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
Including Dallas.
We're gonna talk about this offline.
All right, we'll do that.
We're gonna talk about
Make
this
sure you press that record button.
offline.
But speaking of that, so we get that backstory, which I mean, way to just quickly go
Mhm.
through this deep story.
Mhm.
But we get Carl, and we know the type of person he is because he's got his house and he did not sell his land, obviously, where they are building a commercial center, I guess.
Right, like around his house. I'm guessing building condos or something just
Mhm.
around his house because he ain't
Mhm.
giving it up.
Yeah.
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 So now I'm wondering what happened when he actually hit that guy and he went to court. Like, was that part of the settlement? Like, all right, hey, I'm not gonna press charges as far as I
Pretty
could
much.
So
if you give up your home.
you think that's what it was? Because I had it in my nitpicks. Like, one, can you just force someone to go into an old folks home?
I don't know
And
if they can
then-
force him to go to an old folks home, but to settle out, that company
May
have.
used that as leverage. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it was gonna be a nitpick, but who assaulted who? I've watched enough Legal Ego.
Is running over a mailbox considered assault?
No, but touching someone's property can be considered assault, especially since he grabbed the mailbox and he told him multiple times to let it go, and the person did not let his mailbox go. So the person who assaulted him was the construction worker and not him.
This is why you always need a lawyer. Carl did not have a lawyer with him when he went to
Knows
court.
the law. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
truth. That's
So
true.
I still trying to figure out he was
He
still
raised
forcing
his
to
right
Shady
to
Oaks.
counsel.
Was it Shady Oaks? Or?
Shady Oaks.
Yeah, Shady Oaks.
Yeah. So I was just like, what the heck? You just gonna send
Why
him
is it
to?
always Shady something? Like, wasn't
Shady
that
Oaks, Shady
in-
Acres.
Yeah, yeah.
That was in life, wasn't it?
I don't know. No, that's with Millionaire Estates or
Wasn't it called Shady Acres?
no.
I feel like on King of
Community
Queens, it was Shady Acres.
It probably
King of
was.
Yeah, King of Queens, it was like Shady Acres. I'm trying to
Life?
send Arthur there.
It was
Millionaire Estates. What was the poor folks one?
It wasn't a
It
poor
was
folks. You were
community countryside something.
Oh, Countryside
Countryside
Acres.
Acres.
yeah, there we go.
Acres or Shady. They always throw that in there somewhere. So
It's always.
I'm just remember.
it means joy.
I'm just remembering life we had on the PlayStation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life is a stupid game.
Man, my
I like
son
life.
loved that
It's
game.
a
Well,
game of
He
chance.
loves it. It
It
is.
is.
You
I
don't
mean, yeah, but it's
control
a
if you-
game though.
But you don't control if you win.
But they have to make it a game.
Yeah.
They
But
have
you-
to, if you can control if you win, is it really a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
the
like-
game is supposed to take skill. What
like-
do you mean?
Yeah, but if you can control
But that's
everything,
why
then
it's
But
that's
like
also
flu
called
or risk,
life.
like the outcome
Because
is
you
what.
can't control the outcome in your life.
right. You can't control that really.
Okay, fair enough. But if I die broke, that's not my fault.
Well,
it's not. It's not.
I
But you
guess
lost
in
at
some cases.
the game of life. You
For
lost.
those who live well outside of their means, it's your fault that you're broke. I'm sorry. It is.
Yeah.
If you
gotta
don't know how to
live
control
within
that,
your-
reel that in, that's your fault.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. But
For a lot of people, though, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, but there's
Yeah.
so many things. Like, yes,
Okay.
there's people who waste their money, obviously.
But that's why it's called the game of life, because you have no control
I just never
over.
liked
Why
it.
are
I'm
we
just-
playing it?
yeah, remember the commercial? Get lucky in the game of life. Marry your honey. Go somewhere sunny if you find lucky in the game of life. Remember that?
But I'm just spinning a wheel. That doesn't mean anything. It requires no skill.
It doesn't. If you know how to flick that thing, though. Woo! You know how to
Okay.
set it up. Like, all right, if I flick it this much, I got better odds of landing on where I want to land. It works.
Well, all right. So Carl is being forced to go to Shady Oaks.
Mhm.
Yes. And he decides he's not going, so he's going to take his whole house to Paradise Falls, where his wife wanted it. And I kind of like.
Nitpick.
We're not nitpicking.
Go ahead, though.
Well, I'm
Go
not
ahead.
nitpicking.
I'm
We're
just letting you know.
not. We're not.
We're not going to nitpick that?
The balloons, no.
None of it?
obviously wouldn't work, but that's
Okay, all
kind of
right.
premise
Because
of the
I'm just
movie.
You
saying.
gotta let it go.
The
Because
balloons were strong enough to hold the house up, but yet two of them were strong enough to hold the house down? What?
Yeah.
Come on.
It was
anything,
losing helium.
anything
They weighed
balloon
maybe 300
or
pounds.
house related. We are not nitpicking.
All right. All right. Fine.
It's the premise of the movie.
It is the purpose.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. These balloons are strong enough to hold the house up. But two of you are strong enough to hold it down and walk it across to where it needs to be. Okay. I buy it.
Yeah. We're not nitpicking the balloons. We're gonna let it
All right.
go
Okay.
because there's no movie without it. You've
Exactly.
gotta do it.
Okay. All right,
And that's the kids movie aspect of this. It's got it like
True.
you know.
True.
Okay. I let it go.
Balloons can't lift a house. I mean, you could get enough to lift a house up. I don't know if that house stays together though.
Enough
It
to
does
rip
not.
it, to literally
Off
rip
the
it off its
foundation.
Off the
foundation.
foundation.
Rip it.
No, you're not ripping it off.
Yeah,
And
I'm
he
about to say-
has no access
Well,
to his stove, electricity, or water.
Right, because all that was ripped away.
Honestly, I think he planned to just die in Paradise Falls.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
That was the
yes.
plan.
That was the plan.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give him that.
That's a painful way to die, Carl.
It is.
He
Carl
had
didn't care.
food.
Carl did not care.
Okay, so that was one of my nitpicks. All the food is in the house, but they're on the ground carrying the house. How are they eating?
They're in the jungle. They ate.
Snipes?
They ate fruit and snipes.
Yeah.
Snipe meat, snipe wings.
And
Oh, you
Russell
had
had
chocolate.
chocolate.
Nah. For 3 days, all he had was that one chocolate bar.
Little Boy Scout chocolate. I don't even know if they want to do that.
Hi, my name is Russell.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell.
Okay.
That boy was
Can we-
persistent.
Can we finish up with this movie?
Yeah, so his plan is to fly his house to Paradise Falls.
Mhm.
And Russell is a Boy Scout that's trying to get his last badge.
Which
Apparently-
was to help an elderly
Oh
person.
my gosh.
Assisting the Ellery.
So apparently he wants his last badge just so his father can pin it on him.
Yes.
That's
Because-
also sad.
Again, this movie, his father was a giant a-hole. Like, Russell
Yeah,
only is going through this so his father can show up to the ceremony. Because he
yes.
thinks he's working so hard to assist the elderly because if I do this, my father will show up.
Yes.
Just what an awful, awful man. Like,
Yeah.
I just seriously.
And spoiler, he didn't even show up at the end.
He did
He
not.
did
Which,
not.
again, your son been missing for days. And you don't show up.
Had to question Russell's ethnicity after his father didn't show up.
First of all, we know what Russell said.
All right, okay. We're gonna
I'm
reel
like,
that
huh,
one back in.
Is he?
We're gonna reel that one back in.
Okay, reeling it in. Reeling it in.
Reeling it in. Reeling it in. Some people. Never mind. No. Reeling it in.
Now, what were you gonna say?
We'll talk about it in the aftercast.
After dark.
But yeah, this is so horrible.
All right. So
So it was his
anyway,
final badge.
yeah.
Mhm.
But he ends up in the house because he was under the porch.
Cause it's like Carl hears a knock at the door and he's like, I'm in the air. Who's knocking at the door? It's like I'm in the middle of the sky.
I would have been wondering about that too. Like, what?
Who's
who
knocking?
is who? Who is this?
I am thousands of feet in the air.
Like the birds? What do y'all want? Hey, you're knocking us out the air, guy. I need you to come back down.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how they end up on their adventure together. Russell does have a GPS, so it gets them to
You didn't have it for long.
South America.
Yeah. And then he loses the
Then he
GPS.
loses it.
This is the most incapable.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Boy Scout
but
ever.
Russell reminds me a lot of your kids.
Okay, yes. Yes, Russell is my son. Although
Says the aunt.
he has a caring father, though.
Yes.
You will
Yeah,
show
yes,
up to
that is
his
the
boy-
difference. Yeah,
his
you will
Boy
show up to his
Scouting.
awards ceremony or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
You'd be there.
but besides that, I was the
His
entire
aunt
time.
would not. Clearly.
Might.
I don't think she'd be
I don't want to go to this fake graduation thing.
Oh, the superhero party we're having?
Wait, is there like I go to the party, but there's like a ceremony for him not to graduate from
No.
whatever grade he's
No,
not graduating from?
I don't think there's a ceremony.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm not dressing up.
No, that's fine. I'm not
Okay.
dressing
What you
up
supposed to dress
either.
up as?
It's a superhero party.
Super-
Oh, so you dress up as Wonder Woman. Then.
I don't want to be
No.
Wonder Woman.
What would you want to be?
I would-
Superwoman?
No, Superwoman sucks. And it's
Okay.
Supergirl, and she sucks.
So who would you dress up as? Catwoman?
Oh, Catwoman would be.
The thief? You want to be a thief?
Well, you say it like that. Catwoman is.
There's
dope,
no other
though.
way to say thief.
Well, it was. You said it so judgy.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not a thief.
I mean,
in case you
a
guys were wondering.
thief? Is that how I should say it? Like, I don't know. How can I add honor to thief? You let me know.
Either way, I'm not
She's a
dressed.
good thief.
There you go.
Oh, she only steals.
I'm like
You
Robin
finish that.
Hood. Only steals from the rich and gives to the poor.
No, I meant that she
Okay.
steals really well.
Oh.
Okay. That helps. That does help.
Or come as myself.
Yeah, no,
But-
the kids
but-
gotta dress up.
Okay. Yeah, you got to dress up.
We
You
have
gotta
to
wear
convince him not to come as a Sonic character.
Well, that's what he wants.
Yeah, that's too much work.
Oh, so you're doing it for selfish reasons.
Ah.
I mean, I'm not gonna be the one doing it, but still.
I'm not the seamstress. All you need is like some couple fins and
That's a lot
Some
of
blue
work.
paint?
It's
That's
a
a
lot
lot.
of work.
This
Is it?
is blue.
Yeah.
you just paint it blue and you're good to go.
This
Wait.
got to be some Sonic costume
Oh,
somewhere.
so look, give him a pair of red AJFs.
Okay, we're already over budget. We're
Well,
already
anyhow,
over
we
budget.
were talking about Russell losing the GPS.
Oh yes.
Which
Russell.
my
And
son
he was
would
talking
do.
about the clouds.
Mine
Oh.
would
Cool
too.
luminous.
Yeah.
Yo,
Cumulonimbus.
Yes,
Did y'all watch it with the credits on?
The
The
subtitles?
Yes.
So when the storm is coming,
Uh-huh.
the caption just telling you everything that Russell was saying. It's like there's a storm coming. It's gonna blow us all away. We're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yes.
but Carl doesn't hear any of it because he turned his hearing aid off, which understandable
Yes.
because Russell talks a lot.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
most kids are.
Yeah, remind me of your kid. I'm like, man, you just don't stop.
He does not stop.
Full of energy, man.
Yeah.
Gotta find a way to bottle that and
Yeah.
sell it.
So in the movie, like he's in the background, like yelling, like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But the captions on, they tell you what he's saying,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, Carl, you really should be listening to this.
Until he heard that thump. That thunder.
The thunder.
He was like, "What are you doing?"
I'm
Over
like, what
there?"
are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Not him.
It's Mother Nature.
Yeah.
She's knocking.
Yeah.
The house doesn't make it through that storm.
The house does not
Yo,
make it through that
we
storm.
gonna
Those
skip right-
We are
balloons.
letting
We're
it
skipping
go.
right
the
over
balloons.
Any house
The
don't make it.
balloons.
Any balloons related science.
So you can't steer the house either.
We're skipping
let
right
that go.
over, right over.
I am questioning the steering mechanism, but
I'm definitely questioning that because Russell was
Yeah.
messing with it. And like, you lose control of that easily. You easily lose control of that.
That
Like, you're not
house
going to
flip over.
sway to the left and sway to the right and then get it back straight. Like, no. You lose control of that as soon as you decide that you want to mess with it.
Well,
Done.
he has
The house
sails.
flips over.
He's in the air. How much control do you have?
I don't
in
know. I've
the
never
air.
tried it.
Uh,
Never tried it.
I don't know that it flips over. I'm pretty sure houses are heavier on the bottom than they are on the top.
They probably are. Probably should be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if not, then you got a problem.
Yeah, see? Then it would collapse.
Yeah, it would.
Mm.
The third floor would become the first floor very quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
All
they do make it thanks to the GPS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
They do.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, they are not at the falls, so he wants to walk his house to the falls. Now, we lost balloons, and the helium has run out a little bit, which is why
They're
They can
able
walk
to
the
they
walk
can
the house.
carry the house.
Yeah.
That's why they can hold the house down, just the two of them. And all the balloons can also hold the house up.
Yeah, it's like a middle
Mm.
The
ground.
middle
Middle
Yeah.
ground, huh?
I'm still like, why are they sleeping outside when they can just go in the house?
Yeah, what's
Because they
up
can't-
with that?
They can't climb up the water hose.
They can't climb up the water hose.
Oh,
No, that's right. Russell was too weak.
Yeah, Russell couldn't get up there.
right.
That was funny. Speaking of, let's talk about a lot of the humor in this show. So we
Mhm.
know they make it here, and this is when a lot of it starts kicking in. Like there
Yeah.
was a few already, but
Yeah.
a lot of it starts kicking in, especially when we meet Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
the
The bird.
the bird. I don't know what
Kevin.
it's called.
They didn't
Skype.
give. No, because a snipe is not.
Oh, a sniper.
It's not a real thing.
No, a snipe is like a fake. Apparently, a snipe is something is like for like a hunter who doesn't know what they're doing. They're like, you describe this random animal that doesn't exist, and they go chasing after it. Like that's a snipe. So Kevin itself is not a snipe because
It actually was something.
it is a creature. But a snipe itself is just something made up that you trick people into believing in. Like when he told Russell to like, hey, there's a snipe who'll be going in my yard. And Russell's like, I'm going to find it. That's a snipe. Kevin technically would not be a snipe, even though that's what they called it.
Kevin's like a giant peacock.
Yes, that could not fly. I guess peacocks can't fly, can they?
No,
Yes, peacocks can fly.
Oh, they can.
Peacock
They
can
choose
fly.
not to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why would you have the power of flight and choose not to?
No, I don't like.
Can flamingos fly?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a definite.
So what doesn't fly? Ostriches? Eagles?
Ostriches definitely don't
Ostriches
fly.
and emus do not
Ostriches'
fly.
Yeah, they don't fly.
ostriches' wings don't.
Yeah,
They're
kinda
definitely
short
not
for
big
their
enough
body
to-
size.
for their-
Peacock,
yeah.
peacocks can fly. It's
They're not well.
not well, right? So I don't think it's
Oh.
like a choice of not flying.
Oh,
Right? I
they're
don't
like
think they can
chickens.
fly well.
Like chickens,
I think they can fly better than chickens.
But you know, not really. Okay, gotcha.
I'm not.
Chickens tend to be pretty heavy too, though. If you think about it, for them trying to fly.
Penguins
we
can't fly.
gotta
Well-
fatten them up so we can eat them.
Well, that's like the chickens that we have created are too heavy to fly.
yeah.
I don't know what the original chicken looked like. It probably could fly.
Probably, yeah. Soar above all the other birds.
No, definitely not. Their wings are too small for that.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe not as fast. as an
Probably
eagle.
like a dodo.
Yeah,
or
because you think
something.
of like an eagle or like a hawk or something, like their wingspan is huge.
Yeah.
It is humongous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because I'm like, they
intimidating.
are big birds,
Yeah.
and
It's
like their
intimidating.
wings are even longer.
Yeah.
Man,
so
we were at the zoo and they had like this bird show and they had an owl on his arm and that owl like
That owl's
opened its wings and
ridiculous.
started trying to. I was like, oh my god!
I'm like, you gonna keep that on your arm?
it was
I'm not
huge.
doing it.
owls are nice animals, aren't they? I think
They're
in
the
general.
nerds
Yeah.
of the forest because they wear glasses, but they're very dangerous.
I was
Very
like, ask a
dangerous.
mouse if an
I
owl is
think-
nice.
I count it nice if you're not going to attack me. I
No,
don't care.
An owl is not.
I
Gonna
think
bother
most birds
anyone.
aren't going to attack you.
Eagles will, won't they? Or seagulls?
Well, okay, yeah, seagulls will.
I guess just if you get too
Stupid
close to
geese
where you're
that
not
be
Yo,
walking
walking
geese,
around.
geese will attack.
Geese?
you.
Geese will
violent.
definitely attack you.
No,
Geese
they will.
attacked me, a giant eagle, ironically.
They're violent.
And it was like, yo, I pushed the cart at it, it didn't flinch.
Yeah, no.
Did not flinch. It just kept on coming. And this whole gang brothers behind him were coming in too. I'm like, I'm gonna go back in here because I gotta use the bathroom. But I'm coming back out. I went out the other way. But either way, they was like
They're
like a
aggressive.
ride on
They're
me.
aggressive.
They're
Yeah.
aggressive.
Also, don't mess with crows.
Agreed.
I
Yeah.
definitely don't mess with crows. They look scary. So I don't
True.
even-
Yeah.
Also, they remember.
and they remember too.
yeah, I heard that.
And then isn't like a flock of them called like a murder or
Yeah,
something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
murder. Like
murder.
the crows is called.
Think I want to mess with a murder?
No.
No.
I want no parts of that.
Mhm. They're
A
gonna
murder of
you.
crows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
murder
thank
crows.
you. That had to come from somewhere.
Yep.
They didn't just randomly like,
Yeah,
just
they-
randomly call it a murder.
They named it after they saw the crows.
Yeah, the
murder
crows
somebody.
murder somebody. I
It
bet.
was like, oh, it's a
Like,
murder.
whoa, it's a
You mean
murder
that
of
group
crows.
of birds? The group of birds is a murder? Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's
It's
good.
like, no, it was a murder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ignore what you're saying, and I'm just gonna call the group of birds a murder.
Yes. So we run into Kevin, which is
Mhm.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The sound he made every time he spit something out.
He kept swallowing
Like-
his cane.
And then you see the shape of his cane in
In
his
his
neck.
neck.
Then he spit it out.
The thing is, it's like birds really
For
do
real?
swallow stuff like that.
Yes.
They do?
Yeah.
Some
Birds
do.
will. Yeah, some birds will eat whatever you put in front of them.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I was traumatized and I hate pelicans now.
Where are you seeing
Forever.
What
pelicans?
I don't know, watching some nature thing. They literally fly to this island where they know the parents of these chicks are going to be gone and pick up the baby birds and swallow them whole.
Hmm.
And I
That's
was like,
pretty
you
gruesome.
D-bags, I hate you. Because I'm like, and then the bird is still alive in this little flappy
Look how big their
gulp
beaks
thing.
are. They've got to be doing something diabolical.
I'm like, oh God, that's horrible.
It's pretty bad.
I'm like, yeah, nah, man. Nope.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad.
Nature is
I
pretty
hate them.
trash.
It is
though.
pretty bad. Like when them little sea turtles be born, they trying to make their way to the
Oh,
beach.
yeah.
And they be
And
picked off.
then the birds
And
just
they're
come
swooping
and
in, picking them off.
start picking them off.
Like,
Sorry,
yo.
turtles. Put your nest closer to the beach.
Yes. Like, why is it so far away from the water?
So far away.
Y'all got fins. You'll be fine.
Just be
Then
struggling
not
to get to the
only
water.
that,
Man.
if they do make it to the water, now they got to get past the fish.
But the seals and all this other. I'm like,
They
this
gotta
is
get
a
past the
hard
fish.
life.
Yeah.
This is
That's
a
why it
hard
don't be
life.
that many turtles.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
guess
by the
so.
time it's done, it's only 4.
This is why they're rare. You would think it'd be humans, but nope, it's just nature. That's why they're rare.
Get to live for like
Hundreds
a
of
really
years.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you make
if you
it.
make it.
I think that's why it's an if you make it, because if it wasn't,
If we
then
let
it'd
1,000
be
of y'all
at least
make
many
it,
of them.
then
Oh, okay. So you're saying
We
it's
would
the
be
circle of life.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we'd be overrun with turtles.
Oh,
that natural selection, huh?
well, turtles are nice. I can be overrun. by
Not them
turtles.
snapping turtles. You seen them snapping turtles?
We had a snapping turtle.
Snapping
did
turtles
have
are
a
mean.
Y'all crazy.
Well,
Them
you know,
snapping turtles.
when you find a
Mm-mm.
turtle on the side of the road, you don't get to pick what kind it is.
It was a nice turtle.
It was a nice turtle.
Do we?
Okay,
Dude.
it's a,
That-
it's a, it's a
yeah.
turtle.
Oh, was it? Oh, Dudley.
It was Dudley.
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 Yeah.
hmm
Dudley the snapping
See,
turtle.
we had an
Alright.
animal.
Okay. We had a turtle too. I'm not gonna say what happened to it on air.
Oh, okay.
It's not incriminating for me, but
You clearly mistreated
I love
this
my mother,
turtle.
so
It became soup.
it probably became soup for somebody, but yeah, that thing got thrown away
Oh.
Oh. All right.
alive
Mm.
Oh.
at McDonald's.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Back to Kevin.
Man, this got dark.
All right. A dark McDonald's
Back
story.
to Kevin,
Who knew?
who is a female. So it turns out Kevin is
Kevin's
just
a girl.
out getting food for
It's babies.
his babies.
babies.
Mhm.
And that's what they want to do. It follows Russell because they ate some of his chocolate. So it's just following Russell. And then we run into Doug. Oh, well, first Kevin was running from the other dogs,
Mhm, From the
Dog,
other
yeah.
dogs, yeah.
which is. I don't know, like the way they portray the dogs in this movie is just hilarious. Plus, the alpha, his voice translator is always messed up, so it's got this high pitched voice.
And he's a Doberman, so
Yeah.
like the voice doesn't match.
Yeah.
Needless
And then
to
you
say.
had the cone of shame.
Oh yeah.
I
I do not like the cone of shame.
Shame. Shame.
We as humans
Shame.
need to adopt
Squirrel.
the cone of shame for some
Squirrel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, some people need the cone of shame.
Mm-hmm.
True.
True.
Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where we get our old premise. So the dogs are looking for the bird. The bird is following Russell and Carl.
Mm-hmm.
And where we run into the original adventurer. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Charles Muntz.
Charles
Charles
Muntz.
Which
So-
that's who Carl looked up to.
Yeah, that was his hero back in the
Yeah.
day.
So he actually did go to Paradise Falls. We didn't mention that it was because he was shamed because they said that he faked the bones
Mm-hmm.
of the bird that he said he found at Paradise Falls. So he was there trying to find the bird the whole time.
Yes.
For decades.
Yeah. He was a little crazy about it.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Long
And
time.
so I'm like, this is where the story again. I'm like, Pixar is a little dark.
Yes, it's
like
dark.
they show up. First of all, where does Carl get all these dogs from? Why does he have so many dogs?
I assume he was breeding them.
So many different breeds.
A lot of dogs.
A lot of different
lot
breeds.
of
Because remember, in the opening credits, he has a bunch of dogs with him.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. He did.
Okay, I forgot about that.
okay. All right.
He's a dog man.
But he
Whoa.
gets to get on his blimp, the Spirit of Adventure, which had to be, exciting time for Carl because,
Yeah.
This is
Someone you
hero.
looked up to, that's your hero, yeah.
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 And then he's just like, when he finds out the bird was following them, he's like, oh, a lot of people have come here with different things. And basically, he's like, I've killed all these people. He was like a botanist. And he's like knocking over all these like helmets and goggles. And I'm
Yeah.
like, so you killed them? Like,
Yeah, I literally was like, so Carl was just
I was
murdering?
wondering. I'm like,
yeah.
did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he? Really?
And he was keeping their helmets and hats
He
and
was
goggles as
crazy.
trophies.
Like, because, like, you thought someone
That's
was
pretty
going
sick.
after the bird you were looking for. So you killed them.
Yeah.
That's-
Because he has to be the one to discover it to get his credibility back.
Look, that's insane.
that's
yeah.
dark. That's
Yeah.
dark.
again, I'm convinced this is not a kids movie.
It's a kids movie, but well, it's an adult movie disguised.
As
Marketed
disguised
towards
as a
kids.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Imagine if this
Doug's
was
on
live
their
action.
side.
Yeah.
He helps them. He crushes some dogs with rocks. Somehow they're alive.
You can't kill a dog. Come on now. It's weird how you can kill a person, but you cannot kill a dog.
No, in this whole movie, I was like, wow, they are really like nobody's dying until the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no one's dying, huh? 'Cause
Well-
people should be dead, or dogs should be dead here.
Well, you gloss over the floating house and the
Yeah.
balloons and
And the dogs falling
the
like
dogs falling
80
thousands of
feet
feet.
into the water.
But then they did other things, like because when he hit that man, like I was like, oh, we're showing blood in this movie.
Yeah.
He's been bleeding.
Oh yeah,
Like, oh.
Bleeding.
Yeah, so you know they picked and choose.
Might have a
they
concussion.
did pick and choose. They did pick and choose. But then, so Carl chases after them, and they deliver the bird, or they're trying to deliver the bird.
The dogs?
No. Russell and them.
No,
Yeah,
no.
they're
After
trying
they
to-
skip. They're trying to deliver the bird to his babies
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because its leg got bit. So
Yes.
you know it can't go on its own.
Yes.
And yeah. So Muntz catches him anyway and
Yeah.
sets Carl's house on fire.
Messed.
I was
up.
like, dude.
Messed
Yeah.
up. Like, I was
Dude.
like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
what?
So
what is
instead of
this?
freeing Kevin, he runs after toward the
I
house to put the
understand.
I
fire out.
understand that. Like I know,
Yeah.
like I understand why Russell was upset,
Yeah.
but it's just like you're gonna try to burn this man's house down. I'm
Yeah.
gonna save my house.
Well,
of
well, it's a
course.
couple of things. Russell's not going to understand, just like my son wouldn't understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But at Carl's age, that house was all he had.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was all he
That
had.
was literally
he was-
everything
Yeah.
to him.
So yeah, man, I was like, God, you messed up.
Yeah, but even the fact that they even like had that old man catch his house on fire, I was like, what
Mhm.
is this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is deep as heck. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
This is a movie.
I mean,
Pixar.
but Charles Muntz was insane. Not only was he killing, like, this guy's a serial killer,
Yes.
Yeah.
killing explorers you think is going after quote unquote your bird.
Mhm.
Then you track them down and was like, oh, I'm gonna take something you like. Your house is on fire now. Like, that's insane.
It's maybe a sociopath.
Oh, just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but Kevin gets taken
Yeah.
because Carl chose the house over Kevin, which I
I
kind of.
would have done the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with Carl on this one.
Yeah.
Can't even lie.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like, I'm taking my house to Paradise Falls because honestly, like I said, I'm pretty sure he just planned on dying
Mhm.
Yeah.
there, and so he's just like, I'm taking my house to Paradise Falls. It reminds me of when we watched The Quiet Place Day One,
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
she's like going against what everybody's doing, and she's like, I'm just going to get pizza.
Exactly.
Don't care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing because that's what she wants to do before she dies, and that's what he just wanted his house there before he died.
I dig that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? It was his wife's childhood dream, and thus his
Mm-hmm.
childhood dream, and he
Mhm.
wanted to fulfill it. And I have to admit, when he got it there, that was satisfying. That the house was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think like, it was, but I feel like that's when he realized that it wasn't satisfying.
Well, he realized that he didn't need it. That like
Mm-hmm.
everything, you know, he had his adventure, which was nice that they put that in that book where it was like, because in her little book, it was like what I'm going to do as far as the adventure.
Mhm.
And it was supposed to be what they were going to do once they made it to Paradise Falls, but she filled it with pictures of them and how they lived their life, which is a good lesson. Again, we
Mhm.
mentioned it at the beginning, but like, you know, you do things. You
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
All of us do, and it may feel like, you know, you haven't done much.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yep.
actually Russell was the one who said it the best when he's saying like it's the boring things that you remember the most.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like the time he enjoyed most spending with his father was eating ice cream outside of Fitton's, counting the cars.
Mhm.
He's like, I know it sounds boring, but that, and I think that's where I realized like Ellie didn't really care about never
Yeah.
making it, because you know during the montage it's like they would save up money, but then
then
life
something would happen.
happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they had to-
Which is always true. Like you think you're doing good, and then life
Yeah.
happens that
Something
throws a
happens.
wrench into it, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like now I need tires, and now I need a car, and now my water heater's broken.
Mhm.
And like life happens, you can't do the things, but I just realized like for her, that wasn't a setback. That's just life. And she enjoyed her life with Carl. And what I was saying, like when he finally got there and he sits in the chair, to me, it just felt like for him, it was less than satisfying.
Right.
Because like I went through all of this and now I'm here, but then what?
Then what? Yeah.
Then he finally
like-
looks into the book.
Because for one thing, like as close as he was with his wife, it's like you're there, but you're there without her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's that's y'all's dream.
Yeah.
To be there together. You get there and she's not there. There's no way that can be complete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you can't be completely satisfied with that. Whether you did it for her and her spirit or whatever you want to look at it,
Mhm.
she's not there.
Yeah.
So that's just not a thing really. So
Yeah.
you kind of got to look back on. All right, well when she was here,
Yeah.
what did we have going
Yeah,
on? What did we
and-
do?
She puts that book together and she's like, continue having an adventure. And it's like, if he would have just, but he never looked in the book because he felt like he failed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was like, if you would have just looked in the book,
right.
you realize like it wasn't a failure. She was okay with like, cause like in the end, they finally bought tickets to South America, but she gets sick and die.
Yeah.
So it's like we couldn't even go to Venezuela,
Mhm.
and it's just like it didn't matter to her. And if it was just he was feeling so guilty about what he couldn't do, he didn't realize that at the end of the day, it's just like you had a good life, and it was
You
okay.
did. And that's something that you can't control. Like,
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
control her getting sick and it doing what it did to her. You can't control that.
Yeah.
So once she passes away, if you keep holding on to that, it's like that's gonna diminish
Yeah.
any and everything that you could possibly do after that.
Which was the next thing. So when he realizes that this isn't it, in order to get the house to float again, he unloads all
the
of that stuff.
that was in the house.
Yeah.
And then like even that is like he got rid of the things he was sentimental about
The
too.
chairs.
The
Mhm.
chairs, pictures, mementos, like all of that baggage that was holding him back, he let go. So the house is light enough to float again.
Yeah.
And then he can go save Kevin and Russell.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big
Yeah.
lesson in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big
My
lesson.
dude
Yeah.
came at them with a shotgun though.
Yo, or we haven't got to that part yet, but yo.
Yeah. First of all, the dogs have planes,
Oh, yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Those dogs can do everything. Like, okay, honestly, if I was Carl, like that technology, the color that you can understand what the dog is saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yo, sell that.
Yeah.
Like, sell
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yes.
yo,
Yeah, you making money off that.
you making
Yes.
bank off of that.
Yes,
And then I
definitely.
need one to
You
tell
are
me
my master.
What babies are saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
between the ages of 0 and 5, tell me what you're saying.
Yeah, what the
I
heck are
s-
you trying to say?
I still don't understand my daughter. I'm like, what are you saying? You're 5. I need to understand you by now.
Hey, Jason's 6, and sometimes I still don't understand what he's trying to say.
I'm
He
like, what
mumbling
you
like
say?
crazy. Yeah,
I feel like I
Goo goo
always
gaga.
understand.
If you don't use some words, you're not a baby no more.
Are you speaking English?
No, they're not.
When did you learn this language? Yeah. So we go up to save Russell
Mhm.
and Kevin, and I really good scenes here. But
Yeah.
one funny again with the dogs.
Yeah, those were hilarious. Just throughout the movie.
Just
Squirrel.
when he rescues Kevin, and then all the dogs are trying to tell him on the intercom that it's gone. No, it's gone. It's gone. He's a quarter of B. He's a quarter. He's a quarter of A. It's gone. The dog
He
is
was like,
it's
"What a
gone.
Is he in B or C?
And the way that he got him by like having the ball. Who wants the ball? I want the ball. I want the ball.
Smart.
Yeah.
Even
That's
how
something they can't fight.
Russell got rid of the ones in the plane.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
squirrel.
Yeah, and everybody's like, where's the squirrel? And they
Where's the
start
squirrel?
crashing their
Man,
planes.
I hate squirrels.
Oh no, Doug's joke.
Oh, it's a good joke because the squirrel got dead.
What was his joke? There was a squirrel, and I forgot whatever the squirrel died, and it was a
Yeah,
good joke because the squirrel got dead.
Yeah.
So it's time you really want to kill the squirrel. Okay. Yikes, that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dark
they
moments in
crashed
the
their
movie.
planes, but parachutes.
Mhm.
Yes.
No dogs were harmed in this film.
No.
No one can die.
Well, they can't do that.
But
You
Doug-
can't kill dogs.
Man, how he was gonna have Russell fall off the plane?
Yeah.
Yo, okay, yeah, that. Because you tied him up and you put him in a chair,
And you put him on
and then he opened
airlift.
the hatch, and
The
I was
hatch,
like,
yeah.
oh, you were just gonna drop him?
Yeah, yeah.
A child?
Slowly slide out the hatch.
You were
That's
just
what
gonna
was
drop
that.
a child.
That's low, man.
That's really messed up. But then after that, he goes after him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
True, he
That's
does
even
try
lower,
to
man.
shoot him.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles Muntz has some issues.
Yeah.
He
definitely got
has
some
some
problems.
issues. I don't even know what the deal was, man.
Yeah.
He got some problems. All that time alone with just dogs.
I mean, that might do it to you.
Yeah.
It might
That might make it a little crazy.
nobody really to talk to vent to, nothing. Just
Yeah.
dogs that are happy all the time. Apparently, according to this movie, they're just always happy. Oh, they're doing dog things. Yeah, that'll drive me crazy.
Because you are my master, and I love you.
And I love you. It's like not all dogs are gonna just
That dog
love
was.
That dog, Doug, was,
Yeah,
you
Doug
know.
was definitely that.
Was
Yeah,
he a
he was-
golden retriever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was he? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was a
was a
golden
golden
retriever.
retriever.
I believe it.
Golden retrievers are like always just.
They're like the dumbest, happiest dogs. ever.
I can't think of a negative story about a golden retriever.
Sure.
So
I mean, you could train a golden retriever to be pretty.
I was thinking
bad,
of
but-
Old Yeller. Wasn't that Golden Retriever?
Oh, I mean, that's a sad story about a golden retriever, but
Oh.
Yeah.
you
Wait,
said bad story.
Bad though.
Okay, true. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Still a good dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cujo. What was Cujo? What was Cujo?
A Saint Bernard.
Saint
Oh, Saint
Bernard.
Bernard. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little slobbering, drooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta be bad.
Man, that book was so much worse than the movie.
It was.
Yeah, that book was weird.
Yeah.
Somebody had a problem. Somebody who wrote that had a problem.
Stephen King. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
the
already
problem.
knew
Yeah, I
that.
Yeah,
think we
yeah, those
already
were
knew that.
facts. Yes.
I heard he would drink a lot before he.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
That
it.
and maybe some drugs were
Yeah,
involved.
some drugs in there.
Can
Yeah.
you say cocaine? All right. It's just- That's so out of context for the podcast.
some of them are gonna put it together. I think they will.
All right, so I don't even know where we were.
We're close to
We're
the
at the
movie.
part of
I
where
mean,
he's shooting at them with the shotgun.
the
Well,
Scotty.
okay, so again,
They
deep
shot
lessons
us.
for this because basically they get away because he chases Kevin and Russell onto the house, which is now sitting on the blimp,
Mhm.
and Carl basically gets them to run out of the house and lets the house
go.
fall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With months in it,
Mm-hmm.
which well, I mean, he comes out, but
Yeah, Muntz basically is like Kevin leaves the house. Muntz chased them, like jumps out of a window after them
Yes.
and falls to his death.
Yes,
Yes.
And
So
is
first death here.
yeah. So it's the parallel between Carl and Muntz is like where Carl was so obsessed with something, but he learned to let go.
Yeah.
Muntz, on the other hand, didn't, and his obsession led to his death.
Right? Like he
Yes.
just could not let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, satisfaction, the house lands on Paradise Falls.
It does.
Yes, it does.
So it will just sit there until, it falls apart. But
Which would be soon because that
the house has
took a-
been through some
Had to
things.
been through some things.
It
yeah.
took
It
a
fell out
beating.
the sky.
Yeah.
There's no way you're gonna hold
It
it.
had the balloons and landed softly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then planted its boards into the ground for foundation.
Sure. 'Cause that's how that goes.
I'm wondering how them stairs were still attached.
They weren't solid.
No.
They couldn't have been.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end of it, Carl comes to the badge ceremony
Yes.
because
Yes.
Russell's dad did not show up. Was it his mom or stepmom there? One of
It was
them.
his, but it wasn't Phyllis because
It
she
wasn't
said
Phyllis?
he was calling too much.
Oh, his mom was there.
God, his mom was there. Just goodness, I'm mad at a fictional father. Like goodness, you suck.
Like, come on, man, step up. Step up. You know what your son's been through?
Gave him the Ellie badge.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is
'Cause
very
that
sweet.
was the badge
So
that
the
Ellie
last
gave
one they
him.
needed, right?
Yeah.
So now Carl's his father figure.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Won't
And
be
they
long.
went
But,
for ice
you know.
cream.
Yes, they went where he said he always did that with his father counting
Yeah.
the cars. They
So-
went for ice cream.
Yeah.
They sat on the curb counting the cars.
Mhm.
Well, they was doing the colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a red one. There's a blue one.
Yeah.
There's
It's
another
like,
one.
no, that's a
Which
fire
is,
hydrant.
it's a lesson for us all. I guess, like you said, there's lessons for a lot of
It's
people
red, isn't it?
in this movie, especially for parents. You know, and this is like spend these small moments with your children.
Mhm.
You know, do those things with your kids.
Those are the most important.
They
It do be
remember
like
it
that,
and they
man.
appreciate
It be
it.
like that, man. I
Mhm.
remember walking to Binky's for ice cream with my dad.
Yeah.
Binky's is no longer there, but yeah, I remember walking there,
Mhm.
getting some ice cream, walking back home.
Yeah, I remember building a cabin out of popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, good times, man.
Yeah.
Simple things.
Simple
Simple
things.
things.
So
They ain't
keep
got to be
those
nothing
in mind.
extravagant.
Yeah, so
Simple
many
memories, man.
life lessons in Pixar movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, we know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Nitpicks. Or are there any movie facts?
There's a few movie facts.
Okay.
Random movie facts.
Movie facts.
Okay, so Paradise Falls is based off of Angel Falls in Venezuela. And apparently Angel Falls is the highest waterfall in the world.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to take the internet's word for it. I have no
Thought it was
idea.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Waterfall?
Yeah, Kilimanjaro. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
just a
it's-
regular mountain, isn't
Is
it?
it?
I mean, there's probably a waterfall on it, I guess, but does it start at the same height?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I
Whatever.
personally have never heard of Angel Falls, so
Me either.
Me
wow.
either.
Also, hadn't been interested in what the highest waterfall is.
oh, never was interested. Still not interested.
No, agreed.
But
Agreed.
it's
I-
like okay.
Yeah.
I know
I mean-
Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak, right?
Highest, not tallest.
Highest, not
Highest.
tallest. Yes.
How
Yeah.
does that work?
Highest is how far it goes up above sea level. Tallest is from base of the mountain to the tip of the mountain, and there
Yeah.
are mountains whose bases start underwater.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like yes and no. Okay, so in the German version of this movie, the dogs are distracted by a cat because the word for cat is a lot shorter than the word for squirrel in German.
Okay.
German, they're very creative with their words.
It's a weird word. Like I wrote it down. I'm like, I don't know what this word is.
It's probably like fluffy tail mouse or something like that.
It's-
Because that's how they make their words. Like they're just like, it's this and smush it together.
So the
Oh,
kid
my.
who voices Russell, he actually wasn't auditioning for the role like his brother was, but they picked him because he would not stop talking, and they realized he had the same personality and mannerism as Russell, so he gets the part.
That works. I bet
Well-
his brother was mad.
So should I take my kid out for an audition?
Oh my gosh, if there's another Russell role, yes.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take Tristan out. They can battle it out. See who can shut up first.
So most of the voice, or voice in quotation marks, of Kevin was done by director Pete Docter.
Okay.
So Russell's appearance was based off of a Pixar employee named Peter Sean, I guess.
Pixar employee?
Yeah, it's
Looks like Russell.
yeah, he's a Korean American employee,
Okay.
Okay.
and so basically the Pixar people like they'll draw like pictures of each other,
Mhm.
and one of those pictures is like, oh yeah, that's gonna be Russell, and that's what he was based off of.
Oh,
Cool.
cool.
All right.
Yes.
What's up?
So, I said we weren't going to complain about the balloons, but some facts about balloons.
Mhm.
Okay.
Please.
Helium can carry about 0.009 pounds. So, according to this, it will take 12 million balloons in order to lift a house. According to film theory, it would take 31 million balloons to lift a house.
Mm.
So, I don't know what the difference
Because
is.
he had stuff in his house too.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, which will make it heavier.
He also had to rip it off the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to hold it up and ripping it off. I'm pretty sure that takes more newtons.
You had
So, they animated in quotation marks. Basically, there's only about 20,000 balloons on the house in the movie, which is enough to lift about 185 pounds.
Mm-mm.
So one man.
20,000 balloons would not lift me.
Correct.
I'd be lighter though. Would it be like moonwalking, like like walking on the moon?
I did not.
Like
Probably.
these giant leaps.
Because if I jump, it's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of the balloon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
go-
right, I
So-
got to get 20,000 balloons.
Yeah, you do that.
Apparently, it takes 9 seconds to fill a helium balloon, which means if you use 12 million balloons, it would take Carl 3 years to fill these balloons up, and as if he does not stop.
So
I knew he
couldn't
didn't
do
have
it in
that's
that.
one
an
night?
old man.
He does not. I already knew he couldn't do that in a
I
night.
don't
It
think
doesn't
you got
make
the
any sense.
luggage. You got the
Well,
luggage
he had
for
the
that.
helium.
It's
No, it was
helium.
helium.
Because
Yeah, that's the
remember when
thing.
the people from Shady Oaks came to come pick him up, it was helium.
Oh, all
over
them
the yard.
tanks
Yeah.
in the front. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So Carl's about 78 years old in this movie. I wrote that down because I'm like, how is Charles Muntz still alive? But I guess he's in his 90s then.
90 something, yeah.
Which then also brings that apparently the snipe eggs will like extend his life. So he was older, but he was also still mobile because like eating those eggs sort of reversed the aging process.
Oh,
And there
okay.
was also like apparently like in early production they was going to have sort of like that in there, but they decided to take that out of the movie.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
In real life, birds cannot eat chocolate. No surprise there.
Well, yeah, most animals can, I guess.
Yeah.
They can't process it.
Yeah. So this will be the first Disney movie to feature a divorce. Because in all the other movies, it assumed that, the people are widows or widowers.
Oh, okay.
But in this one, it was
They
clearly
actually-
So
that
Russell's
his-
parents were divorced.
his parents were divorced, yes. So there was a couple of endings that they were toying with in here. One where it was like they was gonna have Charles Muntz redeem himself, where it's like, oh, I'm not so bad anymore. But then they said, like, nah, we don't like that one. And then they was gonna have one where his obsession with catching Kevin was gonna send him into the labyrinth, where he said like no one survives, and basically he was gonna get lost and die. And then there's gonna have one where he just kind of floats off with the balloons, but it's like, oh, that's too ambiguous. So basically, it's like we killed him, so everyone knows this dude's dead.
Oh, so they had to make sure you knew he was dead.
They had to
so
make sure you-
falling to his death was clear enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Probably
coming
not so
back
bad
from him.
that.
Yeah.
I get it.
So no up to.
Nah.
Not for him.
No, although there was
He won't be in up
Yeah,
to.
he ain't gonna be Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 3.
There was a couple of like I think a mini series with Doug and
Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah, I
it
seen that on
was.
there.
Yeah, and I
There
did
is.
watch it. Carl went on the little date, so he didn't die.
Alone?
Alone.
Oh, okay. Got himself some new
Yeah, he
kitten.
got a little something he met at the old folks' home.
Okay, okay.
No, see, up to we go to space.
The house floats to space. And then they suffocate.
No, it's sealed. The house is sealed.
Okay.
All right. So now we can move to nitpicks.
Well, I had one random fact.
Okay.
It is the third animated film to be nominated for Academy Award of Best Picture.
So I saw that, but the movies they mentioned, like, did Lion King not get nominated? Because they didn't mention the Lion King in there, and I'm like, that can't be true.
No, it was
Lion
Beauty
King
and the
didn't
Beast
get
and Toy Story.
The
Beauty and the
Lion
Beast?
King. That's why I don't believe it. You telling me the Lion
1991.
King didn't get nominated?
Oh, we're Beauty and the Beast.
I don't believe that because I don't like Beauty and the Beast.
I feel
don't
like
really
Lion
like Beauty
King
and the
got
Beast.
better as the years went on.
No, it was good from the start.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like
I mean, yeah, we liked it from the start.
So I saw that, but I didn't. I was like, "There's no way that's true."
All right, come on. It's Othello with lions.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Like, there's no way the Lion King didn't get nominated.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Okay. Nitpicks.
All right.
Pick some nits.
Pick some next.
All right. How long did it take them to get South America? Because I felt like it only took them a day, which is
Yeah,
just
it was
not
Insane.
realistic.
Yeah, I guess only a day. I mean, if you're flying at how fast do jets
That
fly?
house gonna. They're not in a jet. They're in a floating house.
I'm about to say that the house wasn't touching no jet speed.
Also, they get shot down by whatever plane the U.S. government decides to use.
Also that. Didn't even think about that part, but yeah.
Or run into a building.
Okay, so I already mentioned all the food was in a house, but somehow they don't starve.
Mm-hmm.
They ate fruits.
No,
Not enough.
no. Okay, so Carl goes to rescue Kevin. Kevin's locked in the cage, and all the dogs are in the room. The dogs will notice him in the room. Like you can't
Yes.
sneak into a room full of dogs.
Yeah, no.
That is true.
You really cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot do it.
I was just like, I don't care how quiet you're
They're
being.
either going to hear or smell
They'll
you.
smell you.
They
they
know
probably
you're there.
smell
And
you
it
before
was
they
with
hear
the
you.
scene. It was like, I can smell you.
Exactly.
Right.
Way over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because it
they'll
was
smell you
Russell
before
was
they
the
hear you.
small mailman, and then the
Yes.
guy who smells like prunes.
And the guy that's
Denture
like,
cream.
Prunes and denture cream.
And denture cream.
Okay, that was my
Yeah.
last nitpick because obviously you gotta ignore the obvious.
You gotta let it go.
You gotta
Because
let it go.
We already know the house could not float. It would
Yeah.
not have stayed together. Well, at first I thought the balloons would rip the roof off at the very minimum, but it was attached inside
It was
of
attached
the house.
inside, and the chimney was in the center of the house, which is unusual.
Okay, yeah. But all that pressure is on that small point of the house. That little
Yeah, to
piece
lift
of the
everything.
it just pulls that out through the chimney. That's what happened.
You-
Agreed.
That house was braced all the way through,
Okay.
all the way through.
Reinforced.
We're not nitpicking this.
Okay.
Okay.
Carbon fiber.
All right. Cool. Bye.
All right, cool. All right, so we can rate the movie.
Yeah.
All right, I will give it best movie
Yeah,
ever.
I'm about to say definitely best movie ever.
Agreed.
give it
Like
to-
watching this, I was like, this is a good
Yeah.
movie. And
I
the
give it-
more I thought about it, the more I enjoyed this movie.
I give
Oh, yeah.
it best movie ever.
Definitely best movie.
And for your answer for Lion King, Lion King is not for an animation. It's for best motion picture.
Oh.
That includes musical or comedy.
All right, good. That's
Okay.
better.
2
It's better.
Yeah.
Academy Awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know because
So
I read
Lion King, when it comes to animation,
hmm
they don't include Lion King as an animation.
because they got nominated for original picture.
The original picture.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right, I'll take
Yeah.
that because I saw it and I was like, "There's no way the Lion King didn't win." Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Highest grossing animated film until Finding Nemo.
Really?
Yes.
Finding Nemo's the one that
Finding
beat it
Nemo.
out.
And y'all
Not
were wrong
on the
about
level of
what
Lion
Lion
King.
King is
No.
based on. It said Lion King is based on Hamlet.
Hamlet and not
Hamlet.
Othello?
Oh yeah.
Whatever. I don't know my
Hamlet.
Shakespeare. Sue me.
Okay.
Old family.
Also, no, Lion King is based off of some what was the White Tiger, whatever that
Yeah.
Disney stole this from. This
Look.
whole story is stolen.
They
Disney
steal
stole
everything.
everything.
They steal
They stole
everything.
They steal
everything.
everything.
And
They
yet
stole
they
everything.
got the whole copyright thing on lock. Whatever, Disney.
Hey, they know the legal.
Look, they're an
Good for you.
evil corporation, but I'm not going to say I don't enjoy some of their stuff.
Yeah, I
Yes.
enjoy their
I
movies.
enjoy it.
Fair.
Like when the Wonderful World of Disney used to come on, like on TV shows, like
I
on
was
Friday
looking
night or
forward
something.
Because
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah, the
like
little
back in the
intro.
days, like you could not get access to the stuff. Like they were like,
Yes.
we are not selling this movie anymore. We're not doing
Yeah.
nothing to this movie
They
anymore.
would lock
It
it
was
in
in
the
the
vault.
Disney
Like,
vault.
it was in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got Disney
Came on
Plus.
TV. You got that whole introduction, like.
Yeah, it was a big deal because it wasn't going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was solid, man. It was part of life.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Absolutely. All right. That's our thoughts on Up and many other things. So if you enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like on the video, comment below what you thought about Up. Was it as serious of a movie as we thought it was to you? So I know I worded it weird,
Mhm.
but you got the gist of what I was saying.
You know what I mean.
It made sense.
Yes. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you in the next one.